welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about Plaza Suite. Yes, I did go there. I saw Sarah Jessica Parker and Matthew Broderick. I've been waiting for this for 4 months or maybe more. So I'm super excited to share with you how I liked it or disliked it or how it was. So keep watching. You spent decades to watch Sex and the City. You absolutely adore it, right? But you never thought like, oh my god, am I going to ever meet actual Carrie Bradshaw, meaning Sarah Jessica Parker? And I'm like, I would never ever thought of that. But I love how actors, like Hollywood actors, TV shows, films, they go to Broadway, they go to West End, and they commit to something that stupid people will say, oh yeah, it's just 2-3 hours of work per day. You have no idea about theater then. However, I don't assume these kind of people watch, so we can all agree that this is an absolute, really hard job to do, and I'm gonna explain also why, and especially in this case. The play just announced 2 more weeks, so it's gonna run so far until the mid-April because of the huge demand. I mean, she almost has 10 million followers on Instagram and she is huge in London. Like, when you arrive, so the play is at Savoy Theatre, very posh place in London. Oh my goodness. You can see the excitement from people and you kind of feel the energy, and it's so funny because the crowd literally looks like the fans of Sex and the City. So you have all kinds of people, which I love, You have the gay community in the most, at least in the grand circle where I was. And you have all the weirdos and people like me and people like you. And it's a variety also. The mid-age, the older audience, but also Gen Z was there. So she covers everything, right? And that's priceless. Everybody, the anticipation was surreal, okay? Like, everybody was just like, oh my god, let's do it. Because people, it took them forever to actually come in. And by the way, when you have Grand Circle, like me, I bought a ticket 4 months ago for 25 quid. It's like free, but you have to do it 4 months ago when the show is announced, not now. So now, yesterday it was from 95, those tickets are gone. Now it's like from 125. So it just, you can find tickets for like £350, which is crazy to me. But that's because of the demand. So I was able to get one single ticket after half an hour of going through different dates. I found one ticket which was 25. It was the front row of the Grand Circle. However, it said it's a restricted view because of handrail. So there was one in front of me and then one after. So it went across the stage. However, I imagined, because I've never been at Savoy Theatre. I've been to like majority of other theaters in London. So sometimes when you have restricted view, you cannot see half of the stage, which is ridiculous. But for 25 quid, kind of fair enough. And sometimes restricted view is almost like non-existent. In this case, I was so happy that it was non-existent, almost. So you could just see a handrail like going through the very front part of the stage. But if you just sat like this, you could see everything, right? But also the action was mostly in the mid stage and then at the back of the stage, right? For the purpose so everybody can see them. I mean, the design is smart. My restricted view was like, I was so happy with the seats. And when you have, the Grand Circle is the balconies, basically it's just like the highest floor. You have completely different entrance, right? So I mean, it's London. We have casts, and so basically they send you to the side. And I wanted to wear like my best clothes, but I ended up, because it was so cold, I ended up with my kind of like ski sports jacket because I was kind of feeling like really cold. So I was like, I need to sacrifice the fashion, even though like Carrie Bradshaw would not approve of this. But anyway, I was going through like the main entrance and everybody was, wearing fancy clothes. And by the way, in London, because of the tourists, you can come to the poshest theater in London and you can wear very kind of like sporty clothes. If you just take a run and then go to the theater, there's no problem. Because of the tourists, like the tourists don't carry like suit and tie and so on. So the rules are non-existent in London. So before you judge me, like, know the rules. Everybody was like dressed up because when you are in the stalls, right? So the actor actually is looking at you. You want to look good, right? Anyway, they kicked me out of there and they said, oh, your entrance is on the side. So I went on the side. Basically, you cannot enter the main hall. I didn't see the merchandise at all. I would be very interested like what they had. And I wanted to buy a program, but the little bar that we had was the queue was forever. And sometimes the stewardess, they have a program, but they didn't this time. So I was like, okay, whatever. I'm all seated, right? And we're waiting. It's actually like 7:30 it's supposed to start. It was 7:35 and I was like, oh my God, like people just sit down. I'm not gonna wait forever here. People sat down, right? Now all of a sudden the lights, so it was 7:35. The lights went kind of down on the audience and I don't know what was happening, but one person, she couldn't find the seats, or I don't know what was the problem, but the stewardess were talking and they were whispering, but everybody's quiet, at the start of the show. And they were just like, so you see, like, you want to see, Sarah Jessica Parker coming on the stage and everybody's quiet and it's like, you cannot sit down, you cannot sit there, you have to, and some people were just like, shh, like, shut the. And I was like, are you serious? But, at the same time, it's 25 quid. And people who go there are, I don't want to sound like I'm something better, but you also have the crowd which is not used to going to theaters. They don't know how to behave. They don't understand how to behave. Anyway, I'll come back to that. The door opens, the waiter comes in or whatever, and then Sarah Jessica Parker walks on the stage. And everybody's like, whoa, clapping. So she takes it in for like 5 seconds, because everybody's so excited. So she just like smiles at the audience and everybody's, she takes it in. And then she starts talking and the phone call and all that. And it's very obvious from the beginning that this is going to be a physical comedy. And obviously she's so fit that it's not a problem. But this is what I said, like the show runs for almost 3 hours with 20-minute interval. And it's very, very physical, right? Like you go left, right, you jump, you do this, you do stretch. Like it's so physical that it's actually like a 3-hour workout. Plus you have to perform, you have to speak. And it's just her, Matthew Broderick, and I think there are 4 more extras that very briefly appear. And that is it. We're waiting for Matthew Broderick, we're waiting for her husband. He arrives, he receives an applause, and cheers. He takes it in, and then we have this beautiful and fantastic performance of the show. You can get tickets at AGT, by the way, only. It's nothing like London Theatre Direct, nothing like that. So Savoy is very special, by the way. The whole story, I'm not going to spoil, right? But the whole story is divided into 3 different kind of stories, okay, with different couples. So the whole thing is about marriage and relationships and all that between a woman and a man. So the first story is longest one. That goes until the intermission. And basically it's like old couple, they've been together 23 years and they are in a rut. And they, by the way, everybody is rich in that play. And that's why the whole play essentially makes fun of rich people and their problems, how they actually come up with the problems, but also how the problems overlap with our problems. However, it's mocking pretty much, which feels kind of funny and nice in a bad way, but that's life. It kind of starts slow, and the first section is a little serious as well, but then funny, so it goes back and forth. I think it was very well done. It was funny, but I wouldn't say it was super funny, right? But you're kind of like take it in, you're looking at Sarah Jessica Parker, Matthew Broderick, you're like, is this real? Overall, I was like, yeah, I'm enjoying it, definitely entertaining. After interval, which was 20 minutes, it's usually quite shorter, but it's 20 minutes, they change. So the story ends, right? And then another story begins. So they change clothes and we are now in the 70s and we have this film producer and his crush from high school comes into his hotel, and she's like a blonde. She's like so excited that, about celebrities and all that. And it's all very shallow and funny. And that part is like really funny, right? So like the second part and the third part, actually, third story is like the funniest. The only like serious moments are in the first part, where it goes from serious to funny. And the second part is almost the whole time is funny. And it's hilarious. Like, people were laughing so much. Now it becomes really intense when it comes to physical comedy, because the characters are a little younger. There's a very short break in between for about like 5-6 minutes, so they have to change the clothes. And the third story begins. And the third story is the funniest. It's, again, like older couple. Everything is in the room 719 at Plaza Suite. So that's the whole point. A daughter locks herself in the bathroom because she gets cold feet, and the wedding is happening at the lobby of the hotel. And Sarah Jessica Parker is trying to convince her daughter to come out of the bathroom. Then Matthew Broderick comes in. They all try to convince, and he always speaks about like money, like I pay so much money. And it's so funny. It's I'm not even gonna like try to describe it to you. It's just so funny. And it gets really physical that Matthew Broderick at the end of that is just all ripped apart and like, he almost dies in the play. It's hilarious. Everybody was just like so entertained, including myself, of course. The story ended, and the curtain is falling. Everybody's taking a bath. She's giving kisses. She looks at everyone. She waves. It's really like, it's so obvious that they are enjoying it, and everybody was enjoying it. The place was packed. There was no seat empty. Everybody was super excited, packed, invested. And of course, some people, and especially one person, very young, obviously, who very clearly doesn't go to theater very often. She was sitting like in front of us, like on another section. The show started and she was on her phone. And she doesn't realize, she wasn't filming. Like, if you're filming in theater, you're an idiot. Okay, let's establish that. But even if you are on your phone, whether this is cinema or theater, because it's dark, when you go and read the messages or go, like, the phone shines and people behind you, it goes into their face, into their eyes, so they cannot focus on the play. For those of you who are Gen Z and don't go to theater at all, you should not be doing that. And if you are so addicted for some reason, I don't want to say it has something to do with low intelligence, but if you cannot control yourself so you don't look at your phone for the next 3 hours, there is something seriously wrong with you and you should go to a doctor, okay? Let's put it this way. So a guy next to me, which was a gay couple, there's always one of them who is very feisty, and I love that. And literally the show almost started and he's like, "Can you put your phone down, please?" And he started he started shouting at the whole theater, and his partner was just like, "Quiet, oh my god, quiet." And he's like, "Can you put your phone down, please?" And everybody was just like, "What the hell?" And then Sarah Jessica Parker was about to come out, and he just kept shouting it. So the stewardess finally ran. The girl with the phone was completely oblivious to this. So the stewardess comes running, it's like sliding like a football player. And then she started to explain to this little girl, not little, like 20, I don't know, 2 or something. She tells like, "Can you put your phone down?" And the girl was like, "Why? Like what? Like, I'm not filming." And she's like, "You can't look into your phone. It shines to everybody's face behind you." And she was like, like they actually had a conversation about it. I'm like, oh my God. So yeah, finally she put the phone down and maybe got a little educated at the end. Of course, these things happen only in the grand circle and lower tier tickets. But it's amusing anyway. So the whole thing was amazing. I would rate it either 7.5 or 8 out of 10. Just because of that first section. So I just feel like it was not the whole time 100%, right? So the performances were there. Like, I was blown away. right? Like and obviously they are married, so it adds on the actual like fun that they are having, even though they have to do it every single night apart from Sunday. However, on Saturday they have 2 performances. My head is exploding. Like how the commitment that you have, that you do this for 2.5 or 3 months, 3 months, I think, like every single day apart from Sunday, but still you get 2 performances on Saturday. That means you have 7 performances every week, and it's completely crazy. Like it's intense. You cannot get sick. You have to take care of your voice. So hats off. I want to say hats off. It's the whole atmosphere. It's like it's hard to describe as well. Like, and you get those flashbacks from like Sex and the City when, she sometimes like gives the same look, of course I cannot do it properly, but it's just like those moments in the Sex and the City when she always was physical actor, and the facial expression, like it was just so great to see that live. And it's just like, wow. Even though I was quite far away, so if you want to buy any place in the stalls section or orchestra, if you're from the US, definitely, like if you have money to spare, go for it. Like this is unbelievable. And after the show, what happens is, and I've seen this on TikTok, what happens is she comes out of the stage door and people are waiting for her. They have a program to sign, and she's so nice. I have seen so many videos from so many different dates, and she's incredibly polite, nice, and super sweet. She's also left-handed, by the way. Oh my goodness, like me. And she goes and she gives autographs to everyone. No pictures allowed. Obviously, when she signs and you take a selfie, like that's fine. And she cannot sign anything not related to the show. And Matthew Broderick sometimes comes out with her to do the same thing. So I didn't wait. I was like too cold and kind of too tired. As I said, the show runs almost 3 hours. So, and also I went after work. So I was really tired, but I'm thinking, like, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to do this, but you have a chance to do this after the show if you want to see her and, get an autograph from her and just like be up close to this legend. What I also like about it in general is she's very committed to like learn everything about like London and the British culture, and she's really trying like to learn tube stations, and the pronunciations are crazy, right? So everybody who comes in, also when David Hasselhoff came in here for the theater, he did the same thing, he was like, oh yeah, no, this is called Southwark, and like yeah, it's great. And from her Instagram you can see like she's walking around London taking different pictures and kind of like sinking in the city vibe. And I'm just so happy that this is happening. Like I feel like it's great. So let me know if you went to see it, if you want to go see it. What did you think? What are your expectations? Do you have tickets? And if you have any other questions, just let me know if you've been there, and let's have a little conversation in the comments, because I want to see different perspectives as well. And if you have tickets for the future, let me know how excited you are. So thank you for watching, and well, enjoy the show.